Inhale, ribs, lower back, lift and expand in all three directions. And exhale, spine lengthens. Now I want you to gently rock the forehead side to side so that you're massaging that third eye center on the floor. Just the most gentlest of movement. Noticing if you have tension or muscle engagement in your jaw, in your eyes, in your sinuses, and see what you can let go. And then we're going to take one more big breath here. And slowly we will come into downward dog. So what that will look like is you will rock forward onto your hands, onto all fours, and curl the toes under. And then push the hips back, and then lift the knees up off the mat. And I want you to play with bending the knees and pushing the hips back and up, and then straightening the legs. So again, bend the knees down in downward dog, then lengthen back and up as you straighten the legs. And then maybe you straighten one leg and bend the opposite knee and switch, cycling back and forth. And in downward dog, I want you to see if you can take the right hand, lift it off the mat, and reach backwards for the left ankle, looking up through the left armpit. Whoa, see if you can do that and breathe. Holy moly. Then put the hand down. See if you can do the other side. So left hand to the outside of the right ankle, looking up towards the right armpit. See if you can breathe. All right. Back to your downward dog. And we're going to drop the knees down, hips back as we come into a kneeling position, but we have our toes curled under. So we're coming into toe stand. And you may notice this can be quite intense. So you can start with your hands on the mat and then slowly walk them back for more intensity, and maybe even coming up with your hands on your thighs. Okay, so just whatever your feet say is a good amount of stretch. We're not going to do this one for 4 minutes because that would be crazy. We will do it for a minute. So I want to invite you. For me, this is one of the most intense poses in yoga. So I want to invite you to experience that, if that is also your experience, just to feel whatever sensations come up. Are they sharp? Are they dull or achy? Maybe it's not intense for you. Just notice, and then notice whatever thoughts and emotions your body has in response to that. And then come back to the affirmation. I am not my mind. I am not my body. And we will come forward, woof, uncurl the toes, tap the tops of the feet on the mat. Hallelujah. Okay. So now, was that intense for you too?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take the right leg forward into what is a low lunge, but I want you to move the right leg out to the side of the mat. So it's like a really wide, wider than hips width and lunge. And place your hands on the inside of your right foot. And if you can't reach the ground, that's okay. You can put something under or just be up here on your quad. If you can reach, that's great too. Or you can even go down on, maybe you could go down on your forearms. Doesn't really matter. Nobody's keeping track, unfortunately or fortunately. And then wherever you are, yeah, just start to rock side to side. And you may notice that your hips might have a lot to say about this pose. Okay? I'll just say, thank you, hips. I hear you. Let the head hang down. If this is too intense on your back knee, you can always fold the mat under to give an extra layer of support. This is called dragon pose in Yin Yoga. And come to stillness. And as much as you're able, see if you can lift the head so that it's in line with your spine and melt your heart forward or towards the earth. Maybe you do that on an inhale, lengthening the spine, and then on an exhale, maybe you just let it hang. Inhale to lengthen, spreading the collarbones, and exhale, letting the head hang down, straight down, all the way to the earth. And do that a few more times on your own before you come to stillness. I am not my body. I am not my mind. And then one more deep breath in, breathing into the hips. And exhale, let it go. And then bringing that right foot back to meet the left as we come to all fours. And you can just take whatever movement feels good here. I'm going to do some hip circles. You could do cat-cow, whatever is good before we go to the other side. And, take a moment to reflect, what does this mean? I'm not my mind, I'm not my body. So just come into child's pose for a minute and, think about how your body has changed drastically from baby, child, teenager, and adult. And it will continue to change. And despite these drastic differences, you are still you. You are not your body. But then who are you? Coming up to all fours, bringing that left leg forward into that low lunge. And walking the left foot out to the edge of the mat, placing the hands on either side of that foot, or you can have them up on the thigh, or come all the way down to the forearms. You can fold the mat under your right knee to give you some more support. And rock side to side. Seeing what this side of your body has to say. And as we think about how our body evolves, we can also think about our mind. Our mind is consumed by thoughts that arise and pass. Playing with emotions like a kitten plays with a toy. But whatever arises in the mind, that does not define who we are. We are the observer of the mind's thoughts. We can direct the mind to focus on what we want, gauge what we want. But we are not the mind. We are not the body. Beginning to lengthen the spine as the head lifts and the heart opens on the inhale, and then as you exhale, dropping the head down. Inhale to lift the head and heart. Exhale to lower. And a few more rounds here. And then what I want you to do here is we're going to come into what's called a yogi squat. So you're going to place your weight on your hands and your front foot and bring your back foot to meet your front foot. Let's do a forward fold first. So just let your upper body hang over your legs. Maybe rock side to side and grab opposite elbows. Releasing those last poses. And then you're going to take the feet wider than the hips out at a 45-degree angle and slowly drop the hips down. They may say, I don't want to go that far down. That's fine. They may be more comfortable going down. You can come up on your toes too. But playing with where your body is at in this position, maybe pressing the elbows into the outside of the thighs, and rocking back and forth. And that could be up here with your booty in the air or with your booty down. Just want to feel some nice movement. You can play with the position of the feet, the angle, the separation. And just seeing how this feels in your body. And taking a deep breath in and out. And then we're gonna place our hands forward and bring our feet back so that we come to all fours. Okay? And I want you to come to a kneeling position because I'm going to show you the next pose, and I don't want you to be looking at me while you're trying to do it because you could hurt your neck. So the next pose we're going to do is rabbit pose. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your ankles, okay? And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. I don't personally think it matters so much. But you're just gonna grab your ankles, okay? And then you're gonna vertebra by vertebra curl down until your head touches the ground. And you want it to be the very top of your head, which unfortunately my hair is in the way. I'm just gonna move it. And you wanna keep your head as close to your knees as possible. And then you're gonna lift your butt if you can. And the arms should be straight so that you're actually pulling on the feet, so much so that you could roll forward if you let go, okay? And then once you're in this position, you can potentially inch the knees forward a little bit more. So let's play with that. So go ahead and reach towards the ankles. Take a deep breath in as you straighten the spine. And then curl the head down, chin towards the chest, and letting yourself curl vertebra by vertebra until the crown of your head touches the earth. And then see if you can lift your hips while your arms straighten and pull on your feet. Okay? Don't want to put too much weight in the top of your head. It's just there for balance. Push the shoulders away from the earth. See if you can still breathe while you're here. And then slowly release out. And I just want you to put your forehead on the mat and your arms back alongside your body by your ankles, palms facing up into embryo pose. And just relax here, rocking the head side to side, massaging that third eye. And we're gonna come forward into crocodile pose. So I just want you to take your hands in front of you, walk them towards the front of the mat, come onto your belly, legs long behind you, and elbows come out to the side, one hand on top of the other so that you can rest your head on top of your hands. This is my favorite pose because I think it's so easy. But it does release the lower back. Just take a moment to rest here. Coming back to our affirmation. I am not my mind. I am not my body. Seeing if you can have that 3D breath here, expanding the chest and abdomen in all directions as the air comes in. Taking one more big breath in, letting it go. Bend the knees so that the shins lift off the earth, and then drop the feet to one side and then the other, just releasing the low back. And straighten the legs. Push the hands into the earth as we come back to a kneeling position. And this time I want your thighs directly over your knees. And I like my feet. We're gonna play with camel pose, which is a pretty intense pose. But we don't have to go. Just go until it feels like I got some sensation, but nothing pinchy. So I like my feet, the tops of my feet flat, but some people like to tuck their toes. Yogi's choice. Take your hands onto your back. You can face fingers up. And then bring your elbows together. And you'll see that that kind of naturally opens the chest. And then tuck the tailbone down as you draw the belly up and in, which will give you a nice stretch already in the hip flexors. And then maybe play with dropping the head back, maybe dropping the shoulders back or the torso. You want to maintain length in the lower back when you do this. And push the hips forward. See if you can breathe into it. One more big breath in. And then drop the hips down. Place the hands on the thigh. That's one of the most intense heart openers you can do in yoga. So you may notice as you sit here that you may get dizzy, be really intense, very expected. And place your hands to the left, swing the feet around to the right, and we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. The legs come out in a V. This is called dragonfly pose in Yin Yoga. Doesn't matter how wide your V is, you just want to feel sensation. Play with your edge. You can move the flesh away from the sit bones. Reach the arms up as you inhale. And then as you exhale, drop the hands down. And then relax the legs and the feet. Relax the upper body as it waterfalls down. And then turn the palms up as you just see how much you can let go and release in this pose. Letting the jaw hang. Letting the eyeballs float loose in their sockets. Releasing any furrowing of the brow. I am not my mind. I am not my body. Watching the breath come in and out on its own accord. Noticing how this posture may change the way your breathing comes in and out in three-dimensional space. And we're going to slowly push into the ground and bring our legs together as we roll down onto the mat, onto our back. And I want you to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the earth by your hips. And we're going to do bridge pose. So what you're going to do is place the palms facing down and tuck the tailbone and then lift up from the tailbone, lift the hips towards the sky and continue to lift up vertebra by vertebra until you're all the way in the thoracic spine. And then maybe you reach the arms under the body, interlocking the fingers and then shimmying the shoulders underneath you. See if you can breathe into the hips and the psoas as you do this, pushing the booty up. Take a breath. And then untuck the shoulders and slowly roll down. And then one more time, curling up vertebra by vertebra into that bridge position. And then option to interlace the fingers and bring the shoulders under you. And you want to imagine a block between your thighs that you're squeezing together as you lift the hips as high as you can. And then see if you can do that while you take a breath. And then moving the shoulders out from under the body, slowly coming down. And I want you to pull the knees in towards the chest, place the hands on top of the shins, or maybe even clasp them together. Press the back of your neck into the mat by tucking your chin. Spread your tailbone on the mat. See how much of your spine you can have in contact with the mat as you squeeze your legs in tight as you can, drawing the elbows in to either side, body engaging the biceps, compressing those internal organs. Breathe in, breathe out, compress. And then reaching the head off the mat, squeezing into the tiniest ball you can, pointing the toes. And then letting it go. Legs out long, arms by the side as you come into final resting pose. Feet flop open. Hands outside the mat, palms shining up. Shimmy the shoulders away from the ears. And just be. I am not my mind. I am not my body.
I've been thinking about it all night.
Letting the earth support you. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Coming back into the body slowly. Maybe rocking the head side to side. Feeling the breath enter and leave the body. And when you're ready, rolling on to the right side into a fetal position. Gradually finding a seat for meditation. Want to be comfortable, where you can have a nice tall spine. Okay. So for today's meditation, we are going to work with the 6th and 7th chakra. So when you're ready, closing your eyes and or letting them gently have a soft, unfocused gaze. And I'd like you to bring your awareness to your breath. So notice the rise and fall of the chest, the natural rhythm of breathing. Sit with the breath for a few moments. If you find your thoughts wandering, gently come back to this meditation. Thoughts are okay. Let them come. Welcome them. Gently let them go by, coming back to this meditation. Be kind to yourself. Now take 2 or 3 deep yawns. You can fake yawn until one comes. Bring your attention back to the breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your breathing. Breathe in deeply, first into your belly and then into your chest. Inhale as much as you can. Then slowly begin to release the air, starting with your chest and then your belly. Do this for 2 more breaths, breathing into the belly, then the chest, seeing if you can inhale even more, and then releasing, starting with your chest and then your belly. Bring your attention to the root of your being, the base of your spine. A tiny ball of red energy spins there. See this energy center as a red pin of light, and allow it to spin and glow. Move up a few inches to just below the navel, your creative center. An orange light spins there. Watch it glow and nourish your creative center. Moving above the belly button, a tiny yellow light glows and spins. Allow this light to infuse your abdomen with its healing energy. In the center of your chest, a tiny green light glows and spins. This light nourishes your chest area, infusing it with love. A small turquoise light glows and spins at your throat. This light heals your voice, throat, and mouth. Move to the space between your eyebrows. An indigo light illuminates your forehead, connecting you to your inner wisdom. Continue to breathe in and out, and watch as all the lights of the first 6 chakras grow, joining colors to form a bright white light surrounding your body, healing and infusing you with balance, creative energy, motivation, love, the courage to speak your truth and see your truth. The energy of this light moves to the top of your head, a few inches above your head. It changes to deep purple in color, and as it lights up, it begins to spin, activating your divinity, your connection to the universe, to all things. This connection to the divine begins to grow. You feel love and oneness within yourself and with all the world. Allow this beautiful purple light to grow, to surround your head, your chest, your abdomen, legs, and whole body, and then into the space around you, infusing it with vibrant purple energy. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful purple light still surrounds you. The areas above and around your head are surrounded by this beautiful light. Each breath you take is wisdom, connection, oneness, love. Silently repeat each affirmation I speak to yourself. I am connected to infinite wisdom. I have a deep wisdom that I can tap into at any time. I am one with all things. I am a divine soul. I am balanced. I am grateful and in awe of life. I am inspired. I feel spirit moving within me. I feel an overall contentment with love, with life. I am present. I am love. I am peace. And spend a couple of moments in silence as you continue to keep this healing light energized. As you breathe, ribbons of purple weave in and around your head and the space around you, infusing everything with connection and wisdom. Then bring your awareness back to the breath. Allow yourself to feel the in and out rhythm of the rise and fall of the breath. On your next inhale, allow the fingers and toes to wiggle if you wish. Gently shift your arms or legs as needed, coming back into your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes with a soft downward gaze, keeping your focus inward and grabbing your items for some writing and reflection. And paper. And I have some of my favorite quotes from Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, for us to reflect on today. And these are kind of long, so I will read them to you a few times, and I'll also type them, and I can email them to you as well so that you have them for later. But we'll start with the first one. So, there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. So there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. So one more time. There's nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. And I'll give you a few moments to reflect on that. And wrapping up your thoughts there. Move on to the second quote. You can come back to this after we're done today if you want to expand on it more. Our second quote is, if you are willing to be objective and watch all your thoughts, you will see that the vast majority of them have no relevance. They have no effect on anything or anybody except you. If you are willing to be objective and watch all your thoughts, you will see that the vast majority of them have no relevance. They have no effect on anything or anybody except you. So one more time, if you are willing to be objective and watch your thoughts, you will see that the vast majority of them have no relevance. They have no effect on anything or anybody except you. And if you finish with this, you can move on to any general reflections from today's practice, anything that came up for you, sensations, emotions, or thoughts. We'll take one more minute to wrap up our thoughts. All right. So, is there anything either of you would like to share that came up during the practice today, or when you're doing your reflections, or really anything at all?